What's going on, guys? Wanted to make a real quick video and go over a couple of things about this shop knife design that maybe I clarified to some extent in the original video that I put on my channel, but I wanted to kind of consolidate that down and just go over some important points here. Now, first thing is going to be about blade changes. They're very simple, but there's a couple of things you need to keep in mind when you're messing with these screws here. Do note there's only one threaded insert. This front screw is actually tapped directly into the micarta, which is actually quite a robust material. It does take threads quite nicely. But just keep in mind, when you're putting these screws in, make sure they go in straight. Don't cross thread them. And when you're putting this front screw in, just try not to really crank down on it, as given enough force, you will strip these threads out. Now, it's not something that'll be done easily. Again, as long as you're mindful and you just slightly snug this front one down, you're not going to have any problems. And this front screw really isn't even to hold the blade as far as clamping pressure is concerned. It's really there as more of a safety feature to keep the blade from pulling forward out of the handle. And I'll go ahead and give you an example there. If I loosen both of these up to where this blade's kind of loose inside the handle, it's still not going to be flopping out of there. You're not going to be able to push it out. You're not going to be able to pull it out because that screw is physically blocking that notch there to keep that blade from coming out. Now, again, as far as removing the blade, you just want to back this front screw out. Just slightly loosen the back one and your blade will come right out. You can flip it around. You can swap it out. Do whatever you need to do. And then when it's time to replace the blade, just line that second notch up with the front hole there. Push your screw in. Again, keep it straight. Try not to strip it. These are cut precisely enough that it should be pretty difficult to cross thread this. And again, if you just slightly tighten that down to where there's no play left in the blade, that's all you need to do for that front screw. And then your clamping force is going to come from this back center screw that's going into the insert. You can give that a good hard twist, and then that blade is not going anywhere. And you can cut sheetrock, carpet, leather, whatever you want on this. That's going to be nice and secure for you. So just a quick note on that. If you guys do strip the screw out, unfortunately, I really can't warranty against that. Now, I do believe you can repair it if you put in a little bit of resin or some JB Weld and then follow it back up with a 632 tap. These are 6-32 size screws. You should be able to get enough meat back in there to hold the screw as securely as before. But just be mindful. I don't think there's any way you can accidentally strip these out. But just don't be cranking down on them, like you're trying to twist the head off the screw or anything, and you'll be fine. So just a quick note on that. One more thing I'll note as far as sales are concerned. Price on these are going to be listed in the threads. I'll typically list the price not including shipping. Shipping will be an additional charge. Just because it varies from domestic to international, as well as the type of shipping. Now, normally I prefer flat rate priority mail. I'll use a small flat rate box for these. It's relatively inexpensive. It's pretty reliable, and it also provides tracking, which a lot of people like. If it's requested specifically, I can do like a first class bubble mailer if you guys want to save a couple of dollars. But the typical method will be priority mail as far as shipping these. Now, as far as international customers are concerned, that will probably be first class international. I'm not sure what the current rates are. I know they vary slightly based on country. But typically for something like this, it should be at or around $20 or less. I'll have to get a quote on a case-by-case basis for those. And one other thing, I will probably not be including a razor blade if I ship it internationally, just to avoid those headaches as far as customs and things are concerned. So if you order Conus or in the US, I will include a blade. And again, it will most likely ship priority in a small flat rate box, unless otherwise requested or noted. So those are just a couple of quick notes, guys. Appreciate you watching the video and looking at my shop knife. And hope you pick one up and it serves you well. Thanks for watching.